heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. So today it is Evil Friday. So we are going to play some missions from the latest DLC, Harley Quinn vs. Apokolips. I pretty much went out of my way not to play most of the missions so that we could discover those missions together. So basically today we are going to play the 8-player mission. We are going to play the bounty, and depending on how long this takes, we might play some other content afterwards. We'll see. So just give me a minute so that I can finish setting things up on my end. Evil YouTube, asking 1,000 questions. So I hope you guys had a good week. I guess we will be able to talk a bit about the new DLC. And there seems to be consensus concerning the new DLC. So hello, Clearfish. So today, guys, we are going to play the latest raid with evil villains. So if you have a villain character, come and join us. But you have to be combat rating 437, I think. Let's take a look to be sure. So if we go to Harley Quinn versus Apokolips, the latest raid. So yeah, you have to be 437 in order to be able to play the regular version of the mission. Worst comes to worst, if somehow we cannot get enough players that are 437, we could play the event version, but I would prefer to play the regular version if you guys don't mind. Hello, I am Namid. Hello, Jelly Member. Hello, Barthon. Barthon also did not play any of the new missions. Hello, Cranny. Hello, Scrolls. Is DCUO cooked? You guys are gonna have to explain to me what cooked, what is actually meant by that. I assume it means is it hot or is it? But it's sadly it's a lingo I'm not familiar with. Actually, I saw it. I saw a lot of thumbnails lately with cooked on it. From the context, I seem to think it is it hot, but I couldn't say for sure. It's over. Oh, so I mean done like dinner. I wouldn't say it's over, but it's not good right now. The consensus about the new DLC is pretty clear. People hate it. We saw that on the forums. We saw that in the Discord. We see that in the comments of YouTube videos. It's pretty much one-sided. People didn't like this new DLC. Yeah, there's a few people that will come out and say, no, I love it. It's the best DLC we ever had. But the consensus is pretty clear. Most people didn't like it, and it starts from it starts from the story. Some people right from the start didn't like the idea of the story of Harley Quinn versus Apokolips. People didn't think it was a really good story to make a DLC around. There's also other people who, sadly, there was a lot of glitches, a lot of lag with this new DLC, so people are not too happy about the lag. They're not too happy about the glitches. They're not too happy. Well, I have to admit myself, as soon as I saw that we had only one style in the new DLC, I wasn't happy about that. So sadly, there's a 1,000 reasons for people not to be happy, and a lot of people are not happy about this new DLC. There is a dark multiverse. Aiden is asking where there's a multiverse, there's an evil multiverse. There's actually a dark multiverse. I was planning to use my dark multiverse tonight, only to realize that, holy crap, I did not have the combat rating to be able to play those missions. Although even this character didn't have the combat rating, I had to power level this character today in order to be able to make this video today. So, and I had to recreate the evil dark side. Dark side is... Scrolls, DCUO is a great game. We can't deny that. But it has some issues right now. There's a lot of issues right now with DCUO, and sadly this week wasn't a good week. Hello, Daniel Montero. Hello, Prince New York. Hello, Johnny Harris. Hello, Cranny. Any words when the Halloween celebration will be? We have no idea at this point. We do know that there is going to be something for Wonder Woman Day. So at this point, I think that we are going to get Wonder Woman Day for like 2 weeks, like we had the Batman Day, and then we'll probably have the Halloween seasonal afterwards. Wonder Woman Day is the 21st, 24th, I forget, around that time. So my guess is the next thing we will have will be Wonder Woman Day, and then probably right after Wonder Woman Day, we'll have the Halloween seasonal. But that is just an educated guess on my part. I don't have any actual information. I don't know anything. The devs didn't tell me any top secrets. And I'm starting to think, actually, there's four of us. Let us start maybe with playing the alert because why not? Magneto is level 16. Although if we don't have anyone else, I was planning to play the regular version of the mission, but I guess we're gonna have to play the event version. But I'm not sure why I can't even event. I can't even start the cure. So I guess level 16 is too low. I think you have to be level 20. So sadly, we're gonna have to kick Magneto. Very sorry to do that. So let's Dominican Republic. All right, we're gonna have a lot of trolls today. So seeing how there's four of us. Okay, so 419. All right, we're gonna have to play the event version, I guess. Yeah, okay, let's go play the event version then. So let's go back to the chat for a minute. So Scrolls, no one denies that DCUO is a great game. Sadly, the game is struggling right now, and the devs are struggling. It's quite obvious at this point. Yeah, yo, Bart, why couldn't they done do a classic Harley Quinn versus Justice League? I have no idea. They seem to be determined to go for obscure storyline, and I know there seems to be this desire at DC to push for Harley Quinn. They're trying to push Harley Quinn in video games, in TVs, in movies. So that seems to be one more attempt by DC to push the Harley Quinn character. Oh, forgot my little Rocky friend. But yeah, there's a lot of storyline they could have used. We had the Justice League, the Dark Side War, not that long ago, where ironically enough, the style that I have right now is pretty much directly lifted from that. But there's a whole bunch of storylines they could have used. They could have used Cosmic Odyssey. They could have used Legends. The sky's the limit. But this is what they ended up using because again, one of their I guess one of their mandate is to push Harley Quinn into the scene. Full disclosure, I haven't played this mission just yet. They not even look at videos about these missions. So if I ignore the chat a little bit, I'm sorry. I'm just a bit focused on this. Trying not to die and not to do a boo boo. And yes, I'm using. Oh, I hear something. And yes, I'm using jackhammer with brick. Normally, you should use either one or the other. Today, I decided let's do both. Someone is asking about the Omega artifact. We don't have any news about that just yet. I'm not sure why I keep on missing my combo. I had the same issue yesterday when I was playing. Could be that I'm out of shape, or maybe there's a tiny bit of lag that I can barely perceive. It could be. But odds are, it's probably just me being out of shape. The one drawback of the henchman is when you're the tank, sometimes you get stuck in the middle of your henchman. It happens. Oh no, she's going to stomp us next time. She's so mean. So let's see. Decisions. Let's go for the shoulders. We can't use the shoulders really, but we will be able to use to get the style. Uh, Tiny door. Uh, at this point, we pretty much have a new crop of devs, and one thing you're gonna have to expect is they are going to repeat mistakes from the past. Ideally, when you have a group of people, you expect them to kind of learn over time and not repeat the same mistakes they made before. Sadly, when those people get replaced, the new people often end up making the same mistake that the previous people made at some point. One of those examples would be the NPCs in the open world. For some reason, they decided to make the NPCs to spread the NPCs all over the map. It's something that's been done before, and we've known anyone who's played DCUO Online more than 2 weeks knows that it's not people don't like that. It's not really a good idea. Yes, it creates a world that's more lived in, but gameplay wise, it's a bit annoying having to go all over the place to talk to the quest givers, and even worse, it's not clearly indicated who you have to talk to sometimes. So people are not too happy about that. And the first second we saw the test server, we knew that people would complain about that. It was mentioned, but the devs decided they were not going to change that. So I guess they're trying to make the world more believable, more lived in. But they fail to realize that from a gameplay standpoint, it's more convenient to have all the NPCs, the quest givers, pretty much in one spot. Now, will they correct the? Will they make a corrections in the next DLC, or will they still keep on doing that because that's what they decided to do? We're gonna have to wait and find out. And in this case here, you saw we had a tiny door. Something we quickly discovered way back when we started playing DCUO Online. Tiny door, not really a good idea because it's very easy to block those doors, and sometimes even by accident. So at some point, the devs did go back through various maps to make the doors bigger so that people wouldn't be stuck. No politics, guys. I don't know what's happening in Trinidad and America. Or is it just you guys are saying where you're from? That's fine. I thought, yeah, I'd stumbled into some sort of a political argument or something. Oh, I see. So Cranny is asking, where are you from? I'm from Quebec, Canada. My bad, I didn't know the context. Oh, noes! Yeah, it's sometimes I forget that there's people all over the world are watching this live stream. So we are world famous guys. Someone pointed out it's a bit crazy that poison ivy is being held by plants. Plants are supposed to be your friends. Oh well, it happens. Oh, that was it. That was quicker than I expected. Let's go for the back piece. We don't have the style. Absolument, Olive. On parle français si tu veux. Let's get out of here. SRS Scrolls, I'd missed out that you guys were just telling yourselves where you came from. Sadly, these days, people have a tendency to get political quick. So let's try to stay away from that. So if we go back a bit before, while we wait for more people to join us, if you guys want to come and join us, I will wait for you here. Scrolls, DCUO is a great game. It's not going anywhere soon. Probably not, but it has been struggling. Sadly, it has been struggling for the past 2 years. For 2 years, we've been told to be patient, to be patient. At some point, it was because they were understaffed. At some point, they were no longer understaffed, but they had new staff. And then they fired a whole bunch of people. So once more, they were sort of understaffed, and then they had some new staff. So right now, that's pretty much the current vibe is that we're stuck waiting for the new staff to learn how to work with the game and to learn how to work together. So sadly, that seems to be part of the of most of the issues. Is that we have new people, they have to learn how to do their job, they have to learn how to work with DCUO. So sadly, it's a challenging time for the devs, for DCUO, for even for the players, because when you're trying to play some content and the content is kind of broken or at least glitched, it makes playing the content a bit more frustrating than it should be. But yeah, DCUO is a great game. It's just not in a good place right now. So yeah, Yoberton, they could have used the classic Justice League versus Darkseid story. They chose not to do that. Odds are because they're trying to push Harley Quinn. And there was this silly storyline of Harley Quinn versus Apokolips, and they decided to go for that. Hopefully, they're not going. Hopefully, it's not an indication of things to come. It's just one silly episode that they decided to make. Because also, when you look at the trailer, there was a trailer that was released earlier this week, where basically the tone of the trailer is completely off compared to the rest of DC Universe Online. Yeah, at the end of the day, superheroes, grown men putting on costumes and fighting crime, Yeah, that is a silly thing. But even in that context, you can take the story seriously. Like, let's take the Dark Knight Returns for example. Yeah, you do have a Batman that has a silly costume. He's dressing as a bat to go fight some evil villains, and some of those evil villains are silly characters like the Joker. But the story takes the characters seriously. The story is a pretty serious one. So yes, at the core, superheroes are a bit silly, but when you get past that, you can actually treat them a bit more seriously. Which sadly, DC Universe Online more or less usually does a good job doing that. Yeah, once in a while we'll get some silly stuff, but here we got a whole DLC of silly stuff, and not just silly. Someone was pointing out how Harley Quinn comes off as really, really stupid in this DLC. Like she's always been a bit crazy and a bit oh, into dark side. She's always a bit crazy and a bit silly, I suppose. But here they went into full overdrive into the silly stuff. So they may have gone a bit too silly compared to what most of the player base are used to, or compared to what most of the player base actually enjoy. And we see that in the comments. So at the root of the problem, a lot of people were not too happy that it was Harley Quinn versus Apokolips. So some people were not very happy about the DLC itself. But then afterwards, there were some glitches. Like there was the glitch about the omnipotence belt. At some point, you could not talk to Mr. Miracle for some reason. Like you have to play the missions in a specific order in order to be able to play to get the belt. So you have to play the solo mission. Then you have to go to talk to Harley Quinn. Then you have to play a mission in the open world, the solo mission in the open world, and then you have to go play the raid, the alert, then the raid, and then you can go back to play Mr. Miracle from what I understand. You can go back to talk to Mr. Miracle from what I understand. But if you miss one of those steps, it literally breaks the quest, and then you have to wait until the next day for the quest to reset or something. So sadly, there was people were not too happy about getting some of those glitches. Not to mention there's some of the lag. The lag is something that's been persistent for quite some time now, pretty much since we got the PlayStation 5 client. Yeah, before that, once in a while there would be some lag, but on PlayStation 5, the game was pretty much just stable for a long time. For a long time, we didn't really have much lag or any lag at all for that matter. But pretty much since the PlayStation 5 client, yeah, the lag has been freaking annoying. Oh, we got another Magneto. Let's see if he's going to be. So, oh, Kearney says he's Jack Veer. I don't see you. I guess they want it to be unique. Uh, Maybe. We'll never know. I haven't played it in a long time. Did they get rid of the Hall of Doom? No, the Hall of Doom is still there, but now we have a new hub that is the House of Legends. And it's a hub that everyone has access to. So we're still missing one person to be able to play the 8-player mission. So we're going to wait just a little bit more. Oh, sure. Nah, that's okay, Menace Vago. Don't switch. Noliv saying I basically only log on anymore to do base stuff since 2 episodes ago. I understand. That's the sad part, but also the beauty of DC Universe Online is that even at the end of the day, the devs supply us a sandbox and we use it any way we like. Like someone could decide not to play any of the episodes and just decorate their lair, and that's fine. You can do that if you want to. If that is what you have fun doing, you do that. Someone could decide to just play the open world content. Someone like you could play DC Universe Online and never group with anyone if you don't want to. Or if you don't like to play by yourself, you could decide to play DC Universe Online and only play group content. At the end of the day, the devs do supply us with a sandbox, and we decide how we use it. So if sure, if all you want, if all you enjoy right now is logging in and doing your base stuff, that's fine. It whatever gives you fun. Uh, Sometimes people forget that games are supposed to be fun. We play games to have fun, and if you have fun just decorating your lair, that is fine. Like I'm sure I mentioned it as well elsewhere. Like there's sometimes where I wouldn't play end game content because I just didn't enjoy the missions. Uh, like for or sometimes also like when we got Origin Crisis. At the time of Origin Crisis, the devs had made the missions way difficult, much too difficult for most of the players. So that whenever you would try to get into a group, they would inspect your character. And in my case, like I didn't have the latest gear, and I did not even have the latest mod. Like I think I had like, one shoulder from the latest gear. That was it, because I had played the Paradox Wave once. But sadly, without the latest gear and the latest mod, groups would kick me out. And I'm sure some of you guys would say, well, the solution is simple: create your own group. But when you try to create your own group, people would inspect you, see you didn't have the latest gear, you didn't have the latest mod, so they would leave the group. So for Origin Crisis, playing the end game content just wasn't an option. So I played the open world stuff, and that pretty much was it. Actually, no, we didn't have open world stuff for that DLC. All we had was the solo. So we had the two solo, I think, the Bizarro solo and the Huntress solo. So I played those missions, and then I would play open world stuff in the rest of the game. Until we got Sons of Trigon, then with Sons of Trigon, I was able to play everything once more. But there's also some DLC sometimes where I didn't enjoy the DLC so much, so I played it a couple of times and didn't really play it most of the time, and then waited for the next DLC. It happens. A question people often ask is Multiverse. How have you been able to play DC Universe Online for this long? That is pretty much how. If there's some content I don't enjoy, I don't force myself to play it. So we're going to cure with the group we have and hope the omnibus gives us someone else. There's so much lag I can't even. No, there we go. Lots of lag in the menu. So if anyone wants to join, you still have the time. We're not into the mission just yet. Daniel Montero, this new DLC, yeah, people. That's pretty much the consensus. A lot of people find the new Harley Quinn voice annoying. Not just the voice, the way she's written. Like if you look at Harley Quinn from 5, 10 years ago, yeah, she was written silly, but she wasn't written that stupid. But they ramped up the silliness or the stupid to the max, and that's too much for most people. They don't recognize Harley Quinn. Oh, I see, Kenny. Cranny makes more sense. For the gear, there's no miracle. You have to play missions and try to improve the quality of your gear. Iconic simulation. We should have some good things for Wonder Woman Day this year. There's no words just yet about what we will get. There are plenty of Wonder Woman rewards we should be able to get. Oh, Jack Veer, sure. But you have to be a villain, Jack. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, we're playing with the villains, Jacques. So yeah, you have to be an evil villain. Sorry about that. Yeah, Johnny Harris, come and join us. We're playing. We're going to play the event. Obviously, we don't have. Yeah, we don't have the combat rating for the regular version just yet. That was a bit to be expected. There's usually less of you guys when we play on the villain side, which is normal. There's less villains overall. Even with the Crenny is mentioning the free CR boost, even if you use the free CR boost, it doesn't bring a combat rating high enough to be able to play the content on the regular version, the regular version of the content. So 368, we can see Magneto Magnus at 368. That's not enough to be to play the latest content. So even if you use the CR boost, you then have to upgrade your character a bit more to play the regular version of the new content. Dark Questar. Let's see if we can invite Dark Questar. Oh, that's good. And you would think that since this is the latest raid, it would be easy enough to be able to get to just use the omnibus to enter the raid. I guess not. Although now with the reset being Tuesday, I wouldn't be surprised if people played the raid Tuesday, Wednesday, and by now they're pretty much done with it. That's possible, I guess. But thanks to Dark Questar, we will be able to get into the mission. Kearney, I do like the idea of Harley Quinn, not gonna lie, but better storyline is critical. It's like the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. Yeah, pretty much. We saw that with the Legion DLC. With the Legion DLC, people have been asking and asking for a Legion DLC for quite some time. But the people were asking for the Legion DLC. They were asking for the classic Legion, the classic version of the Legion. And what we ended up with is the Bendis version of the Legion, which lasted 12 issues, 18 issues, I forget. I think it lasted like 12 issues, and then the series was gone. So sadly, they built they have to build the game on successful storyline. If they build the game on storyline that were not successful, that's a lose-lose scenario. So I'll get back to the chat a little bit later, guys. So this is my first time playing this mission. I have no idea what to expect. And I did not watch any of the videos of people playing this mission. And when they add the DLC to the test server, sometimes I'll try out the open world, I try out some of the solo stuff, but I'll try to keep at least some new stuff that I never tried before, so that I can enjoy it with you guys. No, not just with you guys, so that when we do get the new DLC, there is some new stuff that I can enjoy. And in this case, it was a great opportunity to be able to enjoy with you guys. Next will be Green with Envy. Someone uses Grimbor's Chain. Like the fact that this Universal Online decided to use silly storylines like Harley Quinn versus Apokolips. It's not an issue in itself, but you have to wonder, like, we don't have some of the most popular DC storylines haven't even been touched yet. Like the Dark Knight Returns, we could have a storyline based on DLC based around the Dark Knight Returns, one of the most popular Batman stories out there. but somehow didn't happen just yet. Kingdom Come would be another option. Yes, I understand that there's a lot of new characters and there's a lot of characters in Kingdom Come, and there's only so many characters that the devs can add to a DLC. But at this point, they should have enough characters in the game that they should be able to maybe add just a few more characters and make a Kingdom Come DLC. Like we even have the Kingdom Come Green Lantern style in the game. Ah, that's a cool statue. So there are storylines that they could do. I understand that they try to have some sort maybe to do some niche storyline from time to time. Like I could see No Frontier. I guess No Frontier would be a niche storyline. That could be a great story for DC Universe Online. But again, in the case of if they wanted to have an Apokolips and the Dark Side storyline, Legends would have been a better option. And Two Dark Side is asking, is Dark Side a boss in this? I have no idea. I did not play the mission just yet, so this is my first time. So we will discover that together. Ah, Dark Celestial spoiled it. He said yes. Ah, they're so mean. Been a while since we fought the evil Dark Side, so I guess we were overdue. Dark Questar is mentioning avoid his attack for multiple feet. If we can get feats, great, but I wouldn't expect us to be able to get feats at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys did not play the mission just yet either. So trying to get people to get feats, in that case, it's a tall order. I'm gonna have to raise the volume of the NPCs. Although they're gonna talk over me, so I'm going to be very sad. Prince New York, one style for the DLC is crazy. Yeah, it is. At first, I thought it was a mistake, or I was hoping that maybe the style just wasn't ready, and we had like we have the mutant style, which is a style from the previous DLC. So I was hoping that it was just a placeholder, but sadly, that is the style we got. So at least we did get a new style thanks to the time capsule. Which is, I know that a lot of people don't like the time capsule. A lot of people are not happy when we get the time capsules. Sadly, it does give us more styles. It does give us more options for styles. Otherwise, we would only get 2 styles per time capsule, 2 styles per DLC, and even in this case, only 1 style. At least, thanks to the time capsule, we were able to get another style. Now, yes, the style obviously could have been included in the DLC, but it wasn't. It was included in the time capsule. Oh, your Barthon is asking, is the Omega Beam artifact out just yet? Nope, not yet. From what I understand, they're pretty much done working on the artifact. I thought they would release it with the DLC. Somehow they didn't do that. But we don't know yet when they're going to release it. Although I could be mistaken, maybe they're not done working on the DLC just yet. Maybe they still have to do some adjustments. Almost there. Stay on target. Oh, let's go for a weapon. Rufus Knight, how are you doing, Multi? We're doing good. And Olive, where are you from, Multi? I'm from Quebec, Canada. Rufus Knight, do you think we will get the Sierra Skip next year, Anniversary 2? Yeah, we should get it next year as well. It did happen before where we would get the Sierra Skip during the year. There's one year where we got like 3 or 4 Sierra Skip in addition to the anniversary event. So in this case, I'm the devs, I guess, are not that stupid. They probably knew that people would not be too thrilled with the latest DLC, and also with the fact that we can now purchase the currency on the marketplace. So they probably gave us the CR skip to try to appease people, to make sure that people will not be too angry. So if I was a betting man, that's what I would bet on. I would bet that they knew that people would not be happy about the DLC. They knew that people would not be happy about the being able to purchase the latest currency. So they gave us the CR skip to try to make people a little less angry or a little more happy, depending on how you want to phrase that. But yeah, I would expect it to be back in January. Although at this point, I should probably make a video about that. But at this point, we pretty much have a new crop of devs, so there's no guarantee that they are going to repeat what was done the previous years. They could decide to take this Universe Online in a complete different direction. And so far, they seem to be modeling some of their strategy seems to come from Star Trek Online. For those who do not know, some of the devs or the producers come from Star Trek Online, and they seem to repeating with this Universe Online what they did with Star Trek Online. An example of that is the events. From what I understand, Star Trek Online always has an event. So as soon as an event ends, a new one starts. And that seems to be the pattern that they're going to repeat with this Universe Online. For quite some time, we've pretty much been going from one event to the next. They even moved the Homecoming Seasonal so that we could have an event right after the Summer Seasonal. And the same with purchasing the currency. From what I understand, purchasing the currency is something that is already done in Star Trek Online. So basically, they're just taking what they've learned working on Star Trek Online, and then bringing that to this Universe Online. So what else are they going to bring? We'll have to wait and see for that. I'm not sure why I cannot. There we go. So I would say, guys, don't worry. We will most likely get the CR skip for next January. But Again, I could be mistaken. To know for sure, we'll have to wait and find out. Sadly, the devs do play with their cards real close to the vest, so they don't really tell us much, if anything. They tell us really the bare minimum that they can tell us. Sometimes they don't even tell us anything. Like for example, for the currency, no one knew about the new currency being added to the marketplace. So it's something they kept really close to the vest, and no one knew about it. Sorry guys if I'm ignoring the chat a bit. I'll get back to it after these messages, or after this fight, I should say. Oh, the evil Kalibak. They kept him bigger, like with the Wonderverse DLC. That's nice. Oh noes.
Father, what are you doing here? I have these vermin right where... Silence! The Lord of Apokolips has no time for your mindless boasts, Caliban. I will dispose of this rabble myself. No! Father! I can still...
Oh, we have to find some cover. Where? Oh, there's the cover. Oh, I see. So in case you guys didn't notice, I wasn't supposed to hide behind the console. There's actually I'm not sure what to call it, a wall, a pillar. Oh, the pillar is on the other side. Oh, I see. So you can see there's slots all around the. There seem to be 4 slots where there's some sort of wall that comes out from the ground. And there seems to be some sort of Omega Beam orbital strike. I wish we get that as players eventually. Obviously, that would be perfect for our dark side type characters. Like you can see here, the little thingy. Oh yeah, that has to be a future orbital strike. They have to give it to us. They have to. They have no choice. This is the event version, so yeah, it's to be expected that it doesn't do too much damage. But I'm pretty sure the regular version or even the elite version will do more damage than that. Almost there, stun target. Oh, then I walked right into it twice.
Insolent worm.
Supreme is saying all the DLC now are for heroes and anti-heroes. Yeah, they don't really make villain content anymore, and it's been like that for quite some time. Pretty much since I forget which map where we had the I'll say Birds of Prey, but I'm probably mistaken. But basically, once they started using the same hub for heroes and villains, it was clear that there wasn't going to be any more villain content or villain specific content. Courtney, how do you feel about Star Wars: The Old Republic? Uh, the game did seem fine. I tried it way back when. The one issue I had though is that now with DCUO Online, we're used to being able to jump over obstacles. We can climb walls. We can even fly. But when I tried Star Wars: The Old Republic, sadly when you hit an obstacle, you cannot just climb over it. And even a tiny like you see a pebble on the ground, and you cannot even walk over it. You have to go around it. Like let's say that these wires here in the Old Republic, you would like hit an invisible wall, and then you would have to go around the freaking wire. So that drove me nuts because once you get used to Descenders Online, where you can pretty much go over everything, anything, any obstacles, it's not like that in other games still. Like there's some other games at the time, like the Old Republic, where when you would hit a tiny, tiny obstacle, you still had to go around it. You could not go over it. So that drove me nuts, and that made me realize that I was so used to playing Descenders Online at the time that there are certain things that I could not go back to. Like I could not go back to a game where you cannot just climb over an obstacle. Oh, and let's go to the open world. And let's see if we can play the bounty. If you guys want to come to the open world and play the bounty, the time is now. So let's look at a few comments first. It was a fun raid, I have to admit. Injustice will probably make a good episode. They can't do it, even though this Universal 9 and Injustice are both DC games. It's different licenses, it's different companies, so they cannot use the Injustice storyline. I guess they could pay a license to I forget the name of the company making the Injustice game. I guess they could pay a license to them, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Uh, Dark Celestial wants to show us something. We'll do it a bit later. NetherRealm Studios, thank you. From what I understand, Steppenwolf sighting shouldn't be there. It's going to be a bounty that will be added later on. So which mission is the bounty?
Information and technology. Disrupt those, and we can send them running back to
I
Apokolips.
guess that's not it.
But no dark side. There won't be a warm welcome waiting for them.
The local nightlife just got a lot hotter. A
Oh,
walking
this is
inferno
it.
called Brimstone is doing his best to make Gotham hell on earth.
So let's go fight the evil Brimstone. From what I understand, you cannot just defeat Brimstone. You have to defeat also 10 other NPCs, 10 mobs in addition to Brimstone. We'll find that. We'll find out in just a second. Let's wait a bit for people to get here. So if you guys want to get here, oh, well, I guess it started already. Sorry guys, I'm not really looking in the chat. I can see it from the corner of my eye. I'll take a look at the chat in just a minute. Dark Corsair says defeating Brimstone twice does the job. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complain about that though. So you decide. Either you defeat a Brimstone twice, or you can defeat Brimstone and then defeat a few NPCs around him, and that'll give you what you need. But sure, we can defeat him twice if you guys want to. Why not? There's also something about the convoy. Let's not talk about the DD party. Let's try to stay away from that crap. So I guess let's wait for Brimstone one more time. So and as we fought Brimstone, as you saw, we did defeat a few NPCs. So we're at 98 of the 100. Wasn't enough to get to 100 in one go. Doesn't really matter. So let's go back to the comments a bit. They need to bring back Chroma somehow. Yeah, Chroma would be nice. Time Girl, you there? I'm not sure who you're talking to. Oh, hello from Brazil. Hello, Henry. Much appreciated to see you here. Ruthless Knight, yeah, I noticed some of the same things they did on Star Trek Online. Yeah, if some of you guys did play Star Trek Online, like I played Star Trek Online way back when, so it's probably quite different these days. But if some of you guys actually did play Star Trek Online recently, is there something in Star Trek Online right now that you think the devs might be tempted to bring over to DC Universe Online? If you have any information about that, let us know. Johnny Arisa plays Star Trek Online. That's exactly what it seems like they're doing. Yeah, that's pretty much that was to be expected. Like way back when we got Jackster, when Jackster started working for DC Universe Online, he had worked on Neverwinter Night before, or on Neverwinter before, or Neverwinter Night. That's another game. So he had worked on the MMO Neverwinter before, and the very first thing he did was give us the artifact, not unlike what they have in Neverwinter. It's yeah, the artifact don't work exactly the same, but he did bring the principle of artifacts to DC Universe Online, and then they tweaked it for DC Universe Online specifically. Henry, I'm waiting for Black Lantern power. That would be nice, but I don't think we should expect any new powers anytime soon. But you never know. Although, if they were to do something, if they were to give us more Black Lantern power, quote unquote, it would probably do like they're doing with the Omega Beam right now. Odds are they would make an artifact that would mimic the Green Lantern power, the Black Lantern powers. The artifact seems to be the way that they are going to add new powers, like new iconic powers, quote unquote, through the artifacts, because they can actually monetize those artifacts. Oh, so we're good to go. I'm a bit stuck. Oh, you see, we've defeated some more lava friends. So we got a feat for defeating 10 of them, and it also allowed us to be able to get the 100 we needed on the meter. So you have to defeat Brimstone and 10 lava friends, or you have to defeat Brimstone twice. The choice is yours. Ah, there we go. Oh yeah, we do have the Omega Beam already. Well, they could give us a variation with the new version we just saw. No, the hammer. I assume at some point they might give us the Harley Quinn hammer as a weapon, unless it's already on the vendor and I'm not aware of that. Oh, hello, Shadow Lady. You're so nice to come and join us. If you want to join the chat, you can. Your choice. The cutscene of Darkseid being beat by Harley Quinn looks so wrong. Uh, the thing with Harley Quinn is that for quite some time, DC have been trying to turn her into their own version of Deadpool. It's alright, Shadow Lady. So for quite some time, they've been trying to turn Harley Quinn into their own version of Deadpool. But more than that, they're also trying to turn her into Squirrel Girl somehow. If you guys ever read Marvel Comics, there's this character called the Squirrel Girl, and at some point, I guess someone thought it was cool to have a Squirrel Girl defeat Doctor Doom. Then they had the Squirrel Girl defeat Galactus.
The mayor was about to deputize
So
every
someone thought, I guess it was a fun idea. Let's go back to the House of Legends.
Thanks for taking care of business.
So I guess someone thought it was a cool idea to see Squirrel Girl defeat anyone, and they seem to have been trying to do that also with Harley Quinn, at least a little bit. But definitely, they are trying to turn her into Deadpool. The Squirrel Girl might be me reading too much into it, but Deadpool, and of course, by adding a Red Tool, that's even worse. That pretty much confirms how badly they're trying to make Harley Quinn into Deadpool by giving her a Deadpool sidekick. Yeah, at the end, normally all Darkseid would need would be his Omega Beam, and Harley Quinn would be toast. Sadly, there is something that is true every time is that characters are as powerful as the writer wants to make them. So if a writer decides that he wants to write a story where Harley Quinn defeats Galactus, it's going to happen, even if it makes no freaking sense. AK-47 wants to scrim? Nah, we're not going to do that. Ruthless Knight, it made tanking rough on SWTOR. The fact that you could not go over obstacles, yeah, I guess sometimes you probably got stuck in a corner or stuck on an item on the ground. Yeah, that must have been annoying. Multi, you have the biggest JYATT. I have no idea what that is. Unless it's a typo. Would be nice if they had another alert and raid to patch in. Yeah, two raids should be the minimum for any DLC. Sadly, it's obvious. It's been obvious for some times that when we do get two raids, we're quite lucky because they cannot always manage to do that. Do you have Get? I have no idea what that is. Lava fiends can be found by themselves in the back left of Brimstone area. Yeah, if you look around the Brimstone, around Brimstone, you'll see a whole bunch of those little guys. That's what I mentioned at some point. Like you can defeat you can defeat Brimstone and then defeat 10 of those guys. But some of you guys suggested that let's just defeat Brimstone twice, and we did that. The evil chat jumped on me. Just give me a minute. Oh, who's there?
Good morning, gentleman multi.
Good morning.
Sorry, I probably sound like I just woke up. It's because I just woke up.
It's all right. Have you heard of the Jayat raid? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, I hear myself in your.
My sound is off.
It's okay.
This happened last time too.
Yes. I'll adjust your voice. You're maybe a little loud too.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's because it's a different character. Sadly, you have to adjust the volume with every single characters. I wish we had like one master volume that you adjust and all your characters are adjusted to that, but no, it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Again, let's not talk about the DD party. I read that already. Do you think the episode was rushed? Not so much rushed as it's obvious that the devs are still struggling to learn how to work with DC Universe Online. So they're not in a position just yet to be able to release content as quickly as the old dev team. It's sad, but that's how it is. Now, how long is it going to take them to be able to catch up? 2 more months, 6 more months, because I know that I've seen people mention that you should they should have delayed the DLC or something. Sadly, sometimes that's not the answer because it could be if it is a matter of they don't know how to fix it, even if you give them 3 more months, if they still don't know how to fix it, they're not going to fix it. Like look at the lag. The lag has been going on for months and months and months. Obviously, they don't know how to fix it. Giving them another 6 months to fix the lag doesn't matter. They don't seem to know how to fix it anyway. Or if we look at the latest DLC, like the latest DLC had a bunch of issues at launch. Some people were saying that they should have pushed it 1 more week. A month later, the issues were still there. So what would one more week change? But maybe I'm mistaken. What say you, Miss Shadow Lady?
Uh, it seems like it is a bit rushed to me, but I think you're right. I think that the reason it seems that way is because they're not really accustomed to this game. They're still learning what they need to do, and there's probably going to be a learning curve. So I think you're right, but I will say if there was this many issues and they hadn't resolved them from test, maybe they should have let us know and not released it because my first playthrough of this was pretty bad.
But the problem also is that like sometimes there are issues that you don't see on the test. Like I know it's not the case here. Like there's a lot of issues that people on test did warn them about, and they still didn't
Yeah.
fix it. So, but sometimes also once you take the DLC from test and put it on live, it creates other issues that were not there on test. So sadly,
Yeah,
the
like the
the
base issue that everyone seems to be having now. That was
yeah.
not on the test server.
So sadly, sometimes the only real test is can be done on live server.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, obviously, ideally they should keep it on test forever until it's perfect. But realistically, I don't think it can be done.
No, we'd be waiting forever for the episode to come out.
Yes.
I haven't watched anyone else's content about it yet.
Oh,
So
you
I'm
didn't watch
curious
my
to see if
content.
the
I'm so sad
conclusion.
now. Sorry, go ahead. Hello? Oh, did our audio crash? I hope not. No, I can't hear
Oh, not
myself.
again.
Oh, I hear you now. I hear you now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened.
It's all right.
But yeah, I can't watch other people's content of it until after I have recorded and edited my video. Otherwise, Future Laura has too much knowledge too. So I had to wait, and I only finished my video last night. So this morning, first thing I did, answer my comments, and then saw that you were on live and was like, oh my goodness, I've missed the start. So quickly started to watch your live, and now I'm apparently in it. So there you
It's
go.
okay. Well, anyway, we're playing also on the villain side, so I doubt you have a villain. Do you have a villain character that's combat rating 437?
I can't remember what she is. I think she's close, but not quite there.
Well, anyway, we played the event version because we didn't have enough people at that combat rating anyway.
Yeah. I
Uh,
can't remember what she is, but I do have a villain who's close.
Prince says, talking about the mission being spread out, he doesn't mind, to be honest. Okay, sure. I can see some people probably don't mind about that. It's just that I know that already people were complaining about that. And when you play the missions every day, over and over and over, after a while, it can get a bit annoying if you have to go all over the place. So early on, I can see how it's not really an issue. Could be an issue later down the line, but maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken. Pops
I
mentioned,
know
yeah,
for storytelling purposes, I kind of like it because it's very linear. It says you go here, now you go here, and that's how the story progresses. But I agree, once you start playing it over and over again, it's going to get a bit monotonous.
well, it's they don't. A lot of people are confused about that. They don't know where to go next. So I don't know how. It could have been more clear, I guess, where you have to go to. I understand that you can flag the mission in your journal, and then the arrow will take you there. But
Yeah.
for some people, that seems to be more than they can do.
Yeah, well, the first time I played it through, I literally just went straight to the teleporter and didn't follow that at all, so I get it.
Uh, Pops mentioned the animation for the solo mission are pretty poor. Yeah, the animation is there's been a clear downgrade in the animation. I don't know if they have new animators or it's just that the whatever animators they have somehow could not do as good a job as usual. But yeah, the animation is it's not as good as it used to be. I don't know if you've noticed anything, Shadow Lady.
Oh yeah, I did. And also the cutscenes are pretty shocking as well, so yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a clear downgrade on that front.
Yeah.
Crinny didn't realize that they were trying to turn her into Deadpool. If you didn't notice, even better for you. Oh, see, Squirrel Girl did beat Thanos as well. So sadly, it seems to be a trope where whenever they try to show that the character is a badass, they have her they have them beat everyone. Like at some point, almost every week, someone would beat up Galactus just to show that they were a badass. Sadly, it's a pattern that we keep on seeing. It's pretty much become a trope at this point. And seeing Harley Quinn beat up Galactus beat up Darkseid, that fits right into that. What say you, Miss Shadow Lady?
I actually didn't click either on that one, so I'm glad you pointed it out to me because I was sitting over here being naive.
Oh. Cranny says, yeah, red tool is obvious, obviously. People have been using the red tool style to recreate Deadpool. So people who wanted to recreate Deadpool did the happy dance when we did get the red tool style because they got some of the pieces they needed to make a pretty awesome Deadpool. Oh, guy at his butt. Oh, I'm so sad now.
Guyot is butt? I
I
don't
don't
know what
know.
that
That's what
means.
Princess says. I don't know either. Sadly, it's some sort of slang that I'm not familiar with. I sadly have to remind you guys, English, not
We're
my
too
first
old!
language. Maybe too old. Maybe
Oh yeah,
English is
you have
not
an excuse. I don't have an excuse.
English is not my first language, but also it might be also a regional thing. Maybe it's something in some neck of the woods, far away from where I live. I don't know. Your Bart says it's new generation slang. Yeah, that's makes sense.
Yep.
Thank you, Roman. Much appreciated. Stephen Roop says I like the new open world looks. Oh yeah, it looks cool. But the problem is that it's nice when it looks cool, but when there are issues, not so nice.
Your phone's all going off, Multi.
Yeah, I did not shut it off, so someone tried to call, and then I got the warning that they probably left a message, so I'll call them later.
Fair enough. I must admit, I like the way this looks too. I understand they're reusing maps, but I really wasn't expecting more than that. But I think it looks really cool. I agree. It looks great. The open world.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, when you're in the raid and you're traveling over that lava, like on the bridges, I think that looks really nice too. I understand the graphics could probably be better, but I quite liked it. I thought it looked pretty, was probably a good word to use, but that's what I thought. It looked pretty.
Uberman says I'm excited for the next episode. Hopefully, an episode 100% created by the new team. I wouldn't expect that. Usually, they'll reuse assets to be able to produce more content. If they have to create everything from scratch, we'll probably end up with only one raid. So in order to be able to get at least one solo, one alert, and hopefully two raids, and maybe an open world, sadly they have to take some shortcuts. And reusing assets is one of those. One of those shortcuts
Yeah.
they can use. It'd be nice to get new stuff, but we have to pretty much make peace with the fact that there has to be some reused assets so that they can create the content and whatever time they have. Although in this case, sadly, I don't expect us to have a new DLC until next March probably. So like last year. Last year we were like 7 months between DLC, and it's probably going to be the same way this year. Yes, there's going to be Wonder Woman Day, Halloween, the Christmas seasonal, but it's not the same as getting a full blown DLC. What say you, Shadow Lady?
I agree. I don't think it's the same as getting full blown DLC, but I really don't think it's on the cards this early on when they're kind of just learning the ropes of this game a bit. I don't think we're going to see anything really new. I think it's just going to be rehashed stuff repeating.
So, in theory, yes, it'll be 100% created by the new team, but they will have to use some old asset that the old team created. So, depending on how you want to spin it, it could be 100% created by the new team. The old team could still have contributed in a roundabout ways. Troma wants to two versus two. Now we're not going to do that tonight. I toyed with the idea of maybe making some PvP event at some point, but it requires someone else to be able to create a team. So we would have to create, let's say, two teams and then fight each other. Uh, I'm not sure if we can. I thought maybe Johnny could maybe be the other guy creating the other team, but Johnny seems to be pretty busy right now, so we'll have to keep thinking about that. Eventually, I'd like to have maybe one night a month, maybe where we would PvP, but I didn't crack the formula just yet. Let's see what else. Trauma says no PvP isn't fixed. I enjoy what's left of PvP over PvE. Yeah, they gave up on PvP a long time ago. Way back when they had promised us a new Grodd ally, Grodd legend. Never happened. So they showed us the NPC. They were pretty much done with the NPC. But then they decided to throw in the towel or the sponge, whatever the expression is, and they literally gave up on PvP right there and then. Especially Legends PvP, I should mention. They tried to bring it back once or twice. They tried to give us Legends PvE. They tried also when we got the Suicide Squad movie. There was a mini event that lasted a weekend or a week, I forget. But that's pretty much the last of it. When they gave us the Deadshot style, that was the end of PvP, pretty much. Did you were there or were you not there, Shadow Lady? Oh, she's gone. I'm so sad now. Lone Wanderer, I'd rather see Shadow's on Trisk actor. Stephen Roop, they just wanted everyone to probably see details of the world. Probably. Trauma Legends is the closest thing to skill since it's counter based like old days. Not really. There's some legend characters that are a bit OP. The problem with Legends is that at some point, once people realize which NPC is the most powerful, that's what they end up using. So at some point, we would face entire teams of Steel, because for a while, Steel was the most powerful of the bunch. And then at some point, it was Two Face. At some point, you would face a Two Face, and then Two Face would summon an army of minions, and so you would end up facing an entire team of Two Face. So basically, even with Legends, people will find the meta that is the most OP, and they'll keep on using that. Evil chat that jumped on me again. How's the new episode? It's a little too silly for my taste, and just having one raid, uh, it's a bit sad. But the worst of the worst offense in my book, having only one new style. That is, sadly, it's a clear indication that as time goes by, we're getting less and less content, and that's oh, just a minute. So it's a clear indication that as time goes by, we're getting less and less content. So that is, I don't like that. There's no other way to say that. Seth Cardew is saying Obsidian Chill was removed from the Creator League. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Was he removed or did he quit? Can you anything else you can say about that, Seth? Have you ever heard of the evil villain Nemesis by Matt Miller? No idea. Sorry, I no idea what that is. Ruthless Knight for real. I wish it would come out with Will Payton Starman style. Maybe someday. Well, you never know what style they'll decide to use. But they seem to have the tendency to want to give us some of the more modern styles. But once in a while, they do surprise us by giving us a classic style. So we'll see. But yeah, it would be a cool style. Starman was a fun comic for a while. Stephen Roop says the raid did look good. Yeah, the visually I had nothing to say about the raid. Even the raid itself was fine. It was a bit short, I guess, but we played the event version, so that might be why. Sorry, I have to move a bit, otherwise we'll be in big doo doo. Droman7 is saying, when y'all wouldn't it be sick to get the boys mashup? It can't happen. It's two different companies, and there's no way they'll do it. Stephen Roop, when is the Halloween event? We don't know just yet. If I was to take a guess, I would say it's going to be after Wonder Woman Day, which is October 24th or something like that. But that's just an educated guess. I don't have the information really. We can't hear Shadow Lady anymore. That's so sad. Prince is saying PvP is pretty dead. Uh, you can still PvP, sort of. I guess you can play mostly one versus one, two versus two. There's duels. There's still a lot of people that are playing duels in the open world. But yeah, for 8 versus 8, you pretty much have to be organized for that. You have to create a group of 8 versus a group of 8, and then yeah, you could probably play some 8 versus 8. But yeah, PvP is not what it once was. Let's agree on that. Was there ever a Suicide Squad episode? Not an episode per se, but there was a PvP event at some point when the Suicide Squad movie was released. We have the Suicide Squad pack on the marketplace. Like there's a few Suicide Squad related thing we had in the game, but there wasn't a specific episode just yet. Uh, like Scrimp, Cheetah Legend was OP. Actually, was pretty cool. Like Shrimp, the dailies are super boring. I didn't play them all that much, so I'll let you know. I don't know, next week or something. But full disclosure, I did not play the DLC very much this week. There was other content to cover, like I made videos about the time capsule, about the fact that we got the currency on the marketplace. So let's say I was busy doing other stuff that I did not get the chance to play the DLC all that much. I had to farm and farm to get some of the stuff from the latest time capsule. And I still have to make a video about the emblems. I made a video showing the rewards you could get from the time capsule, but at the time we did not have the emblems. So now I have the emblems, so I should be able to make a video about that soon. Sorry, I had to take a swallow. Shadow Shadow cannot get the audio to work. I'm very sorry to hear that. Oh, Seth Cardu says he was kicked for various inflammatory, misleading, and accusatory remarks and false claims. He just dropped a video explaining. Oh, okay. I saw his video where he was talking about the DLC that was dropped too early, but I didn't know I didn't know he made another video. Let me go check. I'm not going to start his video because I don't want to get copyright struck. I don't think Chill would copyright strike me, but let's not take any chances. Sometimes YouTube is crazy. Obsidian Chill. Oh. Oh yeah, he made a video about that. I did not watch the video just yet, so I can't really comment about that. But I'm not really surprised. I saw his latest video, and yeah, I guess the devs. There's no way the devs could be happy about the video he made. So, but again, I'm just speculating. So, tell you what, guys, I'm not going to talk about it right now because I don't know what I'm talking about. So once I do watch his video, I might talk about it maybe next week. We'll see. David Sharp says there was an espionage named theme character named Nemesis. Oh yeah, you mean Nemesis in the DC version of Nemesis? Yeah, yeah, I saw him he was in the Batman Brave and the Bold. He was also in the Suicide Squad for a bit. And yeah, there's a villain, Nemesis Kid from the Legion of Superheroes. He started as a Legion of Superhero member, but turns out that he was an evil traitor and he betrayed. I think he was Karate Kid's Nemesis or something. That's all right, Shadow Lady. If you can't fix it, you can't fix it. What can I say? But David, I didn't realize we were talking about the Nemesis characters in the game, but in this universe, in the DC universe. But yeah, there are two Nemesis, or one Nemesis and one Nemesis Kid. No, the boys are not. I think they were published by DC at first, and then DC didn't like. Let's say they didn't like the content of the comic. And then later on, it was published by Dynamite or something like that. Basically, they may have started at DC or was it Wildstorm, something like that, and then they ended up with Dynamite. I might be misremembering the names, but it's something like that. But at the end of the day, the boys are not related to DC, so it can't really happen. I wonder how the Red Hood and the Outlaw episodes would be like. It's a comic that didn't last all that long, I think, and it wasn't. It was pretty controversial when it was first launched. I don't think there's a big audience for Red Hood and the Outlaws. Like there is, I've no doubt there's a big audience for Red Hood, but Red Hood and the Outlaws, I don't think so. So yeah, they could make a DLC like about under the Red Hood. Sure, I could see that, but the Red Hood and the Outlaws, not so much. Original is saying they should bring New Lantern episodes DLC. At some point, I think it's I forget if it's Sharon or Red Five were teasing that there was some Green Lantern content coming up, but we haven't heard anything about that in a long, long time. So no idea if it's still in the plan. How do I get the artifacts for free? There's no miracle. You're gonna have to farm and farm for source marks and purchase what you need for the artifacts from our friend Constantine. That is pretty much how you can get artifacts for free. You have to buy them from Constantine, and you have to buy the Versa Catalyst from Constantine as well, using source marks. I hope the David Sharp is asking. I hope the light ray emblem is nice. I'm thinking of making a light ray alt. It is. It is okay. It's literally the light ray emblem from the comics. I did make a light ray armory for my. I'm going to make a video showing the emblems. So if you're a bit patient, later tonight or tomorrow, I will release that video, and you'll be able to see not just the emblem, but how to create light ray in DC Universe Online. Aiden is asking, does Multiverse have a Super Saiyans and Ultra Instincts? Not at all. At least I don't think so. Jeremy Nosa, I mistakenly bought the artifact from Penguin. Sorry you did that. Yeah, you have to get it from Constantine. Go see your friend Constantine. Stephen Roop, I'm just happy that they still drop new content to play and hope one day we get a new power. There's no reason for them not to keep on releasing content. They still have, from what we understand, they still have the license at least until 2020 2030. It is pretty much their biggest earner. So unless the license to license the game is super super expensive, there's no reason for them not to keep on producing content. But you never know. Sometimes I think it's I forget if it's City of Heroes or Champions that pretty much were canceled, even though they were still making money. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes there are things outside our control that gets games canceled. So sometimes even if a game is successful, even if a game makes money, it could still be canceled for some reason. Or the same for TV shows or movies for that matter. A Lone Wanderer, I would like to see a JSA dedicated episode that's not about World War II. Oh yeah, I'd love that too. Especially we do have the JSA lair. We do have a JSA base. Like there's one mission where we have to go into the JSA base. I wish we could have some of those as base items. But yeah, a DLC with JSA would probably be a good idea. But somehow they're not doing it. They would, and my guess is they would probably use the JSA from Earth 2. So if they do that, I'd rather they don't do that. But yeah, I wish we had the JSA. Either the JSA when Mike Parobeck was drawing the comic, or then later on the JSA by Jeff Jones. Either option would be nice. Jerry meant Harley versus Apocalypse. Sorry, I lost track of the conversation, so I'm not sure what you're referring to. Scrolls, I created a new team being away for 5 years though. Well, welcome back to DCUO. I hope you have fun with your new tool, your new character. So Aiden is telling us his real name is Jerry. It is Spanish for Geraldo. So your father is Geraldo and you're Jerry, as opposed to Geraldo Jr., I suppose. Ubarthon, are you planning to do an updated Darkseid style video for 2024? Absolutely. Basically, the second we do get the Omega Beam artifact, you can expect a video from me. Shadow Knight is asking who would win, Multiverse or Armstrong Levy from Invincible? If I recall, Armstrong Levy is just a regular guy who can travel the multiverse, so it would probably be me. Oh, and I guess we went through all the comments. So, guys, if you have any last minute questions, the time is now. Afterwards, I'll probably go check the video by Obsidian Chill to try to find out what's going on. And obviously, I'm not going to talk about that today, but probably next week for Live at 5, I'll probably talk about it a bit, assuming there's anything to talk about, obviously. Jerry's saying my full name is Gervasio. Okay. I don't know all that much about exotic names, so no idea if you're pulling our legs or if your actual name. But either way, that's fine. Keith Lang, will you do a Marilyn Moonlight look? Probably not. I did. Did I make a look when we got the hat? I know I made a video about the hat, but I forget if there was the look in the video. I might include it in a future video. I'll have to give it some thoughts. Can you do a Knoll style? I have no idea who Knoll is. Well, let's do a quick search. Knoll. Is that a superhero? A villain? Sounds like a caveman or something. Oh, it's a character from Venom: The Last Dance. Uh, maybe. I'll have to give it some thoughts. Johnny just got off work. If you're wondering why at some point we're doing the giveaways at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is sort of why. Johnny sadly is a hard worker, and sadly at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so Johnny's still at work. Or he's barely starting to come back from work. Either way, he's just gonna do it. Will you guys be playing another Raid or Alert Omnibus? Nah, we're pretty much done. If you guys have any last minute questions, the time is now. We'll pretty much end the stream in just a few minutes. Aiden is saying Dev should make a multiverse aura. That would be nice. I wouldn't say no to that. Sektor Knoll is the god of symbiotes. Yeah, I saw that from the quick search I did. Oh, that's nice, Johnny. Johnny says you have to leave a like. So don't disappoint Johnny. Leave a like. Pretty cool. Pretty cool effect with. You can see some of the guys are using some of the latest back pieces, and our friend here, the unknown, is using a material on top of the back piece to get a pretty cool funky effect. Goku asks, how long do you usually stream on Friday? It depends. It could be an hour, could be an hour and a half. Once upon a time, it was 3 hours. I couldn't say. Keith Lang, favorite black actors other than Storm and Green Lantern? Blade. Come on, Blade. It has to be Blade. Especially the Wesley Snipes version of Blade. Holy crap, when that movie came out, it was a great movie, and it was a great movie not just for comic fans, not just for Blade fans, not just for Dracula fans, because Blade comes from the Dracula comic, but for everyone. I knew people who did not know anything about comics, who had never read a comic in their life, and holy crap, they love Blade. So Blade was a perfect comic for everyone. If you were a comic fan, the movie was for you. And even if you were not a comic fan, if you were a golf fan, if you were a vampire fan, if you were a movie fan, an action movie fan, Blade was for you. So yeah, Blade. I have to say Blade. And yes, David Sharp. It was awesome to see Blade in Deadpool and Wolverine. You have to wonder why they did not use Blade, why they don't want to use Blade anymore. The argument at some point was because Blade was too old, but then they went with Marshall Ali, which is almost as old as Blade as Wesley Snipe. So yeah, you have to wonder what's going on sometimes. Oh, Johnny Blaze wants me to check my Discord. I'll do that a bit later. What's your favorite item style? Ah, that's a tough one, and
Me now.
especially. Oh, I heard someone here.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, you did. Apshoo!
Oh. Well, there you go.
Okay.
I've been chatting away to myself for quite a while now.
Well, now you hear.
Yep.
So by magic,
Yeah,
you
the
fixed.
main man belt style.
Okay. So
I didn't do anything different. I've just been playing an Omni, so I don't know why it suddenly worked.
that's all right. So Sex Zor is asking favorite item style. There's too many. I can't choose just one. And it also changes. Like at some point when we first got the Spindrift shoulders, holy crap, did I enjoy the shoulders? I would use it way too much with way too many characters, so that I could have the emblem on my shoulders. What about you, Shadow Lady? Any style you really liked? Your favorite
I
style?
love the main man belt. I love, but Dark Raven. If I had to pick a style where I use most of the pieces, the Dark Raven style is something I use. And I will say I do the same thing as you. I use, or as you used to, I should say, I use the Spindrift shoulder pieces to put the emblem on, just so my character can have the emblems displayed. Also, the Fire Soul belts. I often use that just so I can have the emblem displayed.
So at some point I was using the Ultraman emblem and cape. I loved it. At some point the Void material was awesome. So it changes over time as we get more and more styles. And there's so many cool styles. I have a hard time choosing just one. And as Scroll says, Wesley said there's only one blade. Pops is saying, did you see Obsidian Chill was removed from the Creator League? Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see the video just yet, so I have no idea what's going on. So I'll have to
I'm so
watch the
curious
video.
what happened.
I'm not sure. I think he wanted to, or did he? He wanted to leave the community roundtable or something like that. So I think he left that, but I didn't realize that leaving that he would also leave the Creator League. Again, I'm not sure what's going on, so I'm gonna have to. I can't really talk about it. I'm gonna have to watch the video first, and then we'll see what's going on. We'll probably talk about it a little bit next live at 5. We'll try to maybe be live at 5 long enough for Johnny to join us next week, and we might talk about it at least a little bit.
Sounds like a plan.
So, any big plans for the weekend, Shadow Lady? Anything you want to plug? Now's the time.
Oh, I'm gonna do a video opening 100 of the new capsule, so that's gonna be fun. 'Cause I love those new
100?
capsules, I can't help myself.
100? You crazy?
Yep, yep. Look, I just love it. It's so much fun.
Okay.
And after this new episode release and having played it through, I will be glad to do something a bit more fun because that was disappointing.
That's all right. I did at 25. So, and I was I opened a bit more than 25 afterwards, but I was able to mostly get everything I really wanted. But I wasn't able to get the emote and the accessory. So I'll have to work on those.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I get something. At least a complete style would be nice. But usually if I open 100, I at least get one style.
Yeah, well,
Enhanced or non-enhanced, one of them. So.
unless you're not lucky, yeah, usually 100 allows you to get the whole one style. But it
Yeah.
could happen that one of the
Hopefully.
less common style, sadly, sometimes even with 100, it happens that you don't manage to get it. But worst comes to worst, you'll buy it from the
Don't
broker.
say that. Don't jinx it. I'm totally gonna get it. Wait, jinx
Oh,
it.
you're gonna get
Don't really wanna
everything
get it.
from the broker.
Totally gonna
Absolutely.
get everything. There you go.
Absolutely. From the
Probably.
broker. I agree.
Thanks, Multi.
That's all right. Well, the broker is the best option to get stuff. I know that people don't like it when I say that, and I know that people don't like having to play the broker game. Sadly, the broker game is part of the game. Uh, you don't have to play it. If you don't want to play it, that's fine. But that is how you can get the hundreds of millions in order to be able to purchase the stuff you want from the broker.
I will say though, if you're playing on the Switch or the Xbox, the broker game is not as lucrative as trying to farm it usually, because there's just not enough people on there putting out the items that everybody needs. On PlayStation and PC, there are.
Sketsor is asking what boss do you like best and why? Not sure.
Barbatos.
Barbados?
I like how it spawns the extra enemies to get. I liked the feats for it. I really enjoyed the play for it. It's not something I can easily solo. I usually have to have at least one other person, so it's a little bit more in depth than some of the other bosses where once I've gotten past it, I can just solo them by myself. So I think that's my favorite. At least in open world, that's my favorite boss in the game.
I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of only one. Sorry. I'm gonna call.
You're gonna have to list all 15.
I'm going to plead the. I'm going to plead the fifth on this one. So I think
say my mind can change on that one.
it's all right.
It might be different later.
It's all right. You can change your mind. It's allowed. So guys, I think that's going to be pretty much it for tonight. So any last words, Shadow Lady, before we go?
No, thanks for having me quickly by accident.
That's all right. It's
and I'm
always.
so sorry about my microphone, guys.
Don't worry about it. So, guys, thank you for coming to play with us. It's always appreciated. Thanks to everyone who watched the stream. Thanks to everyone who commented. It's always great to be able to interact with you guys. When I started making videos, I have to admit, it never occurred to me that one of the great things about making YouTube videos, or making videos on YouTube, I should say, is the interaction with you guys, and especially the interaction with you guys during the live streams. You guys are awesome. You prove that every week when we chat in the live stream. And thank you very much, guys, for being here. I hope you guys will have a good weekend. And next week, we'll go back to live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday night. So, guys, have a good weekend. Have a good weekend, Shadow Lady.
Thank you, you too, Gentleman Multi.
So, see you guys next time.